This video is brought to you by BETUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we have a special guest with us. Well, at this point, I wouldn't even call him a guest, man. This is a friend to the show, has been on here several times. If you've been rocking with the State of the Saints, have you seen him on here? And if you've been watching television, you've seen him on All-American, Godfather of Harlem, and now you'll be able to see him on season 7 of the hit show, The Rookie. New Orleans native, good friend to the show, Mr. Deric Augustine.
Whoa.
Deric, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing just great, man. First off, congratulations to all your achievements, man. You're definitely doing the city proud with all of the things you're doing, all the accolades that you're starting to pile up. And before we even get into some Saints talk, season 7 of The Rookie, man, that's a popular show, man. I mean, it's a show that a lot of people watch, and you got an opportunity to be on the show. First off, how does it feel to be on a hit show like that? And tell us a little bit about your character that you're bringing to the show for season 7.
Yeah, y'all see my face. I got a bald face. I'm playing a cop, man, a rookie cop on The Rookie on ABC and on Hulu, and it's been phenomenal, man. Season 7, we've been shooting for like 5 weeks now. We're about to go into episode 706, and man, I tell you what, I've been working as an actor professionally for years, over a decade, and this is the first time in my career where I feel like I have a home on the show. Godfather Harlem was cool. I played Muhammad Ali, but it was just a small part, not a small part, but it was it wasn't a vital part of the storyline as far as like, Bumpy Johnson and
Right.
things of that nature. Ali just made an appearance in a couple episodes.
Right.
All-American was great cast and crew, but my character depended on Layla and her storyline.
Right.
But this character, man, his name is Miles Penn on The Rookie, and he's just new rookie cop from Texas. And what I love about this show, TJ, is that the writers really do a good job at developing their characters. And for the first time on the show, like I feel like I have an arc as one of the main characters, not a main character, but a part of the ensemble on the show, because we're all main characters as far as like everybody on the show affiliated with Nathan Fieldman, who is the leader of the show. And man, I'm having so much fun. Everybody's so cool, and they're very professional and great at their craft, and probably one of the best projects I've worked on in my career thus far, and I'm so happy, dog.
Man, like I said, congratulations to you, man. I mean, that's a big opportunity right there. I mean, all of the projects that you've done, man, you've done a phenomenal job. I mean, even as a character, like you said, on All-American, I mean, you've had some parts, where your character sticks out. Godfather of Harlem. I mean, you're playing Muhammad Ali, one of the most iconic sports figures in history. So, I mean, all of your characters stick out, but it's great that you got this opportunity to show everybody, which I already know, and a lot of people know about what your range is as an actor and what you're going to bring to the table. So, speaking of, okay, so you talked about your face, man. Was that like did you have to like cut your mustache and your beard off and all that?
They made me cut everything, man. My hair was long, and I had a beard, and I play a rookie cop. And,
Right.
you know, as a rookie in the police force, you know, they go through the academy and things of that nature.
Right.
But my character, he's a 2-year veteran of the Sugarland Police Department, but he transfers to LA.
Okay.
So he has to go through, you know, the whole training again, even though he was a veteran.
Right.
And as a rookie, man, you gotta clean shave and you gotta wear the long sleeves.
Right.
And you know, you get a training officer. I can't tell the fans who my TO is because that, you know, that's a spoiler, a big spoiler.
Right.
But man, I'm having so much fun, man. Even though I'm a rookie, my character has, you know, he used to play football. He tore his ACL in college, and you know, and this character relates to me because, you know, I'm from New Orleans. I'm from the South, and he's from the South. Even though it's a small town in Texas, but you know, I get to use a Southern accent, and I got a dialect coach who you know helped perfect this Texas accent, which is totally different from Louisiana. You know, in Louisiana, it's not country, but you know, if you go outside of New Orleans, like my grandparents are from Opelousas,
right.
The way they talk is totally different than you know other parts of the South. And in Texas, they really hit their R's, and I really had to work that into my dialect and into my speech. But you know, he's an ex-football player, so he has that hero mentality, and he's like this new hot shot cop, and he gets humbled because, you know, opposed to the disparity between a small town in Texas to LA, a larger city, you know, it's mind-boggling, and he gets thrown right into the fire.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this role and this character that you're playing. I mean, I'm a big fan of the show. I watch it all the time, man. So I mean, this is an extra incentive for me to watch it, you being on there. So congratulations to you once again.
Thank you.
But you mentioned, man, speaking of football, you know, like your character, you know, who played the game. We got to talk a little bit about Saints football. Like, so before we get into like the X's and O's, the Willies and the Joes, you actually had an opportunity to go out there to practice. You're good friends with Alante Taylor. You were out there. We seen a photo. What did you see going out there to Irvine, getting an opportunity to watch the black and gold play? I mean, this is an opportunity because a lot of fans at this time didn't get that privilege. So what was it like being out there watching the Saints practice in 2024?
Right. Yeah, I've been twice. I'm really connected with the Saints social media team as well, and you know, they're trying to you know, do stuff with people in entertainment, just to reach a broader spectrum.
Right.
And you know, I live in LA, and they're having their training camp out here. I went twice, and it's just to me, it's amazing how structured everything is. You know how you know, I went to a couple of training camps in New Orleans when I was younger, but as I got older and watching practice, it reminds me of, you know, I played football in college, and but this is totally different, man. It's like really structured. They do team drills, they do individual drills, and they kind of you know, combine them all together in different breaks. And to me, you know, they look good, man. I think that the defense, man, that the defensive line, Chase Young is huge, bro.
Yeah. That's all I hear, bro. That's all I hear.
I'm like, man, that dude is massive, man. He's like the biggest dude, you know. Trevor Penning's huge, but Chase is right there, bro. And man, if he stays healthy and he really, you know, is able to contribute on his line, which I think he is, man. He's still young. I think our defensive line could be nasty.
Yeah,
Brian Breezy is in his second year, and Nathan Shepard is playing really good football. And we got that undrafted free agent, and he's been making a lot of noise in practice too. And I'll tell you what, man, the strong point on this team is going to be them DBs, bro. Them boys out there. Yeah. And you know what? You know, my good homie is Alante, and I'm not showing any bias, but man, Alante hungry, bro.
Yeah.
And the way he, you know, you can tell like him and Alante and Chris Olave, they go at it. You know, they call each other out because, you know, iron sharpen irons.
Right. Chris Olave and Alante Taylor, like you're talking about his hunger, you know. What is it about it? I definitely see it. Like him going into his third season, you know, the fact that, you know, I mean, he moved from the outside to the inside, and now he's like fully acclimated in that slot. And, you know, you playing on the defensive side of football, man, I think you play safety, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Like, there's a difference, right? But it seems like he's really confident and he's coming into his own. What kind of season do you think Alante is going to have in 2024?
I think he's gonna have the best thus far, honestly, man. Just the way he competes in practice. He's loud. He's like even though he's a sophomore in the Saints defense, he acts like he's a veteran,
right?
Well versed in the team and in the plays. And in the last time I went out there, he caught a pick six, man, out the end zone. He's just sprinting down the other side, man. And he's like, I think he's just laser focused, and that's why that's what's going to be his the point in his career he wants to do great, man. I think his transition from outside to inside kind of hindered his his swagger a little bit, but now that he has it back, and it's tough coming from the outside and inside, man. Because the outside you got the sidelines and you have the inside help, but man, you out there on the island and on the inside, man. And so he's been putting a lot of work in on the off season. I think it's going to really transpire to the regular season.
Yeah. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and that's what you want to see when guys get drafted. There's always going to be like those growing pains, but eventually they start to become a veteran and he start to take on these leadership roles, and you can tell like he's taking on that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Alante can do.
And see, he was talking about how it's been a transition, and I told him, man, hey man, go eat. Lions go eat, bro. No excuses. And he was like, "You're right, man. It's what we do." Because he a Kappa too. Yeah. And that's what we do. We achieve in every field of human endeavor, man. And I was like, "Hey, man, I feel you, but don't make no excuse. Go hunt, go eat, man." He was like, "Yeah, man, of course." And you really do see him hunting on that field, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the issue has been the defense. I don't think any Saints fan is concerned about this defense. Yeah. I mean, especially like what you've seen from the first team against Arizona. I mean, those guys were hunting out there. You mentioned Chase Young. I mean, he was virtually unblockable. Even when he didn't get the sack, I want to say the Brian Brzee sack that he had, like Chase Young disrupted that. He clipped Desmond Ridder, and then Brian Brzee fell on him. So if like you said, if you can get that type of production from Chase Young, and you have Carl Granderson, who had 8.5 sacks last season, this can be a dangerous defensive line that we're talking about. I mean, the defense has been the issue, which leads me to the offense. Like the offense, like the first team got off to a rough start. Deric, are you concerned at what you saw? I mean, you got opportunity to kind of see them in practice.
Yeah.
And preseason is pretty watered down, man. They're not going to show you what they're going to do in the regular season. Sure. So are you concerned with the first few series that you've seen from the offense?
Right. TJ, I'm gonna tell you this, man. The offense at training camp, they look fluid, man. It looks really different. There are a lot of motions, a lot of fluidity. Right. Everybody seems like they're on the same page. Deric Carr looks amazing, man. He looks like he's finally stepping up to that leadership position where it's hard to jump in as somebody coming into your family. But now he's solidified himself as I've earned my stripes. Now I want to be a leader in his family, and let's do it. He's loud. He's stepping up to the plate. I think offensive line needs to improve, TJ. I think that's our biggest weakness, honestly, man.
Right.
I'm not sure Trevor Penning. I'm not gonna come in here and bash anybody, man. I just think that he needs to get out of his own head. Just like on the opposite side, I think Isaiah Foskey needs to get out of his own head as well, because they're both like really good, talented, freakishly huge, athletic guys, and I just think if they put their football ability mixed with that athletic freakness, they both can be good. But to harp back on the offensive line, man, I think that once we solidify that and they get on the same page, and if Trevor Penning improves, we're gonna be good, man. And I think Clint Kubiak, he's gonna really use Alvin Kamara like he needs to be used. He's gonna use Taysom Hill in a way that I don't think we've ever used him before, because you see in practice he's lining up, he's putting his hand in the dirt at fullback.
Right.
And we haven't seen that before. He's always on the center or something. And
right.
I don't see him passing the ball at practice no more. He's at tight end or he's, at fullback. But
Right.
Last practice I went to, he threw one ball. And
Okay.
so I'm sure they're still going to implement that. Just like Dennis Allen said, like, hey, plan for it. Game
Right.
plan for it because we're still going to use that. So
Right.
to answer your question, I think if the O-line improves and also tight end, that's another position I think we're kind of lacking just a little bit just because, Juwan Johnson has been hurt for a while. But they got this dude, man. They got this. Me and Nick Underhill was talking about this dude, number 86.
Dallin Holker. Is that
I don't know. No, that's not Holker. It's this number 86. He's a free agent. He's like 26 years old. He used to play basketball.
It's not Michael Jacobson, is it?
I don't know what his name. White guy. That dude is freakishly tall, bro.
Yeah.
He stands out. I think he's the same height as Penny. He's like 6'7" or 6'6".
Wow.
And I'm like, man, that dude could learn how to block and catch. He could be, I'm judging off appearance, off his height and his weight. He's a big dude, massive guy.
Right.
And I think we need to solidify that third receiver spot. I know A.T. Perry, he played really good in the last preseason game, but in practice, you don't really hear much of him, man. I don't know. Maybe he's just a gamer. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, that's the conversation though, D, because man, you've been enough practices, man. You got those guys out there, they don't really practice that hard, but when they get
like Lattimore.
They be balling out, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think this is one of those cases. That's why, like, I don't evaluate A.T. Perry like by his practice play. When he goes out there, like he plays, man, and he's noticeable when he goes out there and he plays. So I think he has what it takes to be that number 3 receiver. But I know a lot of coaches, they pay attention to the practice routines and how much effort that you put towards. So I think that he can be that number 3. Hey, what's going on? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones, and I want to say thank you for checking out this video here on the State of the Saints podcast. And I want to let you know this season, the State of the Saints podcast is powered by BETUS. Sign up and save up to 125% on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Go to BETUS to find out more. The description is down below. But looking at that running back position, I mean, you got Alvin Kamara, you got that contract situation going on, but you also have Jamal Williams and Kendre Miller, who has been dealing with injuries. You had a couple guys out there like Jordan Mims and James Robinson. They were out there playing. Do you think that the Saints are missing a little bit at the running back position? Do you think they can maybe add some guys? I mean, you got your boy Leonard Fournette out there. You know what I'm saying? With Kareem Hunt still on the street, so they got some guys that can kind of come in. What you think, man?
Man, I was talking to one of my homies about this. He doesn't like Jamal Williams. I like Jamal Williams. I think he adds flavor to the room, and we're not paying him a lot of money, and I think he's stepping up as a leader because he's active out there. Even when you're in practice, he's the loudest one.
Right.
He's talking to guys. He's boosting that. He's boosting the morale of the team. I like Jamal, but with Kendre Miller hurt, I do think. Remember when we had those teams. Remember it was like Pierre Thomas, Deuce McAllister, and Reggie Bush. We had that 3-headed monster.
Right.
We need that again, man. And I don't know. They don't make running backs like they used to, like those big bruisers like Deuce or Pierre Thomas that can really, pound that football. I mean, we got some like Saquon Barkley and what's the dude that was with the Titans? Now he's with the Ravens.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. But man, I would love the Saints for us to have that again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you got Kamara, but you need somebody that can run in there and just bust through that line. You know what I'm saying? Get those hard yards like Jamal. We thought Jamal could do, but to answer your question, I think we could bring in somebody else, man. Just if in case Kendre Miller isn't ready.
Yeah. My biggest concern is with Jamal Williams is not the fact that he's not good. I just feel like his type of running back skills are more suitable for a line like an offensive line that's already well established. Like take him away from the Saints and put him in Baltimore. He has 17 touchdowns in Detroit. He'll probably have a double-digit touchdown season. He's not the type of guy to me that can get it. Like Saquon. You watch Saquon. His offensive line was terrible. A lot of his big yards came from his effort. And I feel like that's what the Saints need based on the status of the offensive line, how it looks right now. I think that you have something with Jamal, but I'm just concerned that his skill set is not a good combination with what this offensive line is looking like. So that's why I'm talking about like guys like Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, like those type of guys. To me, like despite you having a questionable offensive line, they still gonna eat. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen, and also with Kendre Miller, man. I mean, but the best ability is availability. I think he's good, but I think that, not being out there, he's getting further and further away from the depth chart. So he's going to have to pick up some steam once he gets back healthy.
My thing with Kendre is like, TJ, why you not, after practice getting some extra work done? I don't know if he's doing that or not. I don't know him. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he's doing on the off season. But man, you got to go in there and get some extra work done. Whether it's like physical therapy, rehabbing things. Hopefully, whether it's like what's the things with the little small needles that they do sometimes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
acupuncture, stuff like that, man. Yeah. Make sure you're doing that to keep yourself healthy throughout the season. And maybe he's doing that now, and we will see a different Kendre because, I mean, he was explosive at Texas, you know what I'm saying, at TCU. Yeah. So we'll see. But, yeah, maybe we do need to get somebody. I mean, Leonard Fournette or Hunt, I don't know, man. I just wish Kendre was healthy and he had these valuable snaps right now doing this camp. I think we wouldn't be having this conversation if that was the case.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question. We mentioned the wide receiver position, right? So we know Shaheed and Olave, those two guys are studs, right? You got Rashid Shaheed was all pro as a special teams guy. I'm happy that he's going to get more opportunities. With limited opportunities, D, he has over 700 yards receiving. Like I want to say he had maybe like 40 some odd catches, and he was only averaging maybe 2 or 3 targets per game. So imagine what that's going to look like. And also, Chris Olave, who went over 1,100 yards and 5 touchdowns. What do you look at for that third string receiver? Like I know they got Cedric Wilson. I thought he was pretty decent for the Cowboys. Kind of lost in that shuffle with Miami, justifiably. So you got Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. I mean, come on. But he comes to the Saints, and we mentioned A.T. Perry. But you got some receivers on the street too. You got Juju Smith-Schuster. You got Hunter Renfrow, who is very familiar with Derek Carr. Do you think that the Saints should roll with what they got? Should they maybe look at free agency for some of these guys? Not going to be the number one guys, but has done it in a league to a point where you can trust them in crucial situations.
My thing is, Dennis Allen, if you know this is your last shot, if you know your offensive line is kind of shaky, go get you a solidified another guy. Go get you a slot you can easily dump off. Boom, boom. Go get you Hunter. Go get you Renfrow, or go get Juju, man. Because at this point, talking to the other guys at training camp, nobody has really stepped up to that plate to take the number 3 position. I like AT. I hope he does take it. He reminds me of Michael Thomas a little bit. Yeah. Just because his size and how he could go up there and grab it at the high point. But, if MT was still on this team, we wouldn't have this conversation. I think they do need to get somebody else, just because you don't have that guy that could, it's 3rd and 5. Go run a quick slant, go grab that thing and get some yak. I don't think we truly have that. Chris Olave has a different skill set than that. You know what I'm saying? Very talented route runner, really polished. Shaheed is more of a speedster guy, take the top off. But who are you going to count on when you really need that first down if you don't have a solidified tight end or a wide receiver that can go up there and jump and grab that ball out the air? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like they need to find somebody, and you hit the nail on the head. I'm a big, firm believer that a team, you need that well-polished receiver. You got that in Olave. You need that guy that can take the top off. You got that in Shaheed. But you need that nasty wide receiver too, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3. You need to convert, and that he's going to win his matchup. Probably not going to be the fastest person, just like Mike T wasn't, but that they're going to give you 100% effort. And I feel like that's something that's missing. You're actually relying on the health and the attrition of Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed throughout the entire season. And we seen these guys get nicked up, man. So it's a huge drop off, and that's my concern. So I would be looking. I know they're trying to find that guy through the undrafted guys, the guy they drafted, Bub Means out of Pitt. It's supposed to be something there, but I'd rather you have a well-established guy that has done something in the league. and you don't have to worry about rushing this unproven guy who is probably still trying to get acclimated to the NFL speed and the playbook, etc. You have a veteran that already knows what he needs to do when he needs to do it.
If you can't get that guy at OT, at practice, man, Tipton's making a lot of noise. Only thing is I think he's kind of undersized a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for that guy that can go get something, but also, man, Nakua that we got.
Samson Nakua.
Hey, man. Hey, he looked nice out there, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And he got some size on him.
Yeah.
He about 6'3", 6'4", and he be going up and snagging that thing. So
yeah,
maybe we'll find some hidden gems out of them too. Or but means, I mean, he's been hurt, so I haven't really seen too much of him. But you got some guys that might can sneak in there, and the coaches know more than what we know. So maybe they do see some things in those players.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Samson Nakua, I mean, he did really well in the USFL when he got his opportunities. Of course, he's the brother of Puka Nakua, the older brother.
Right.
And he was responsible for them setting up that field goal against Arizona, that back shoulder fade from Spencer Rattler to Nakua to set up Charlie Smith with 37-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, the quarterback competition going on for the second string quarterback, Jake Haener looked pretty good. Spencer Rattler looked pretty good, facilitated that game-winning drive and also facilitated the opening drive of the second half for the offense. He drove down the field, rushed in for a touchdown. Looking at these two quarterbacks, Jake Haener, Spencer Rattler, it's a lot of hype around Spencer, but Jake is right there with him. Like, make no mistake about it. What are your thoughts on this quarterback competition? What do you see from both guys? Do you see any of these individuals that could possibly be the future of this franchise?
Maybe I like flashy toys. I like Rattler, man. Maybe because he remind me of mini Pat Holmes a little bit.
Right.
So maybe, I'm veering more towards Rattler, but, Haener is – I think you could count on him as well, but, man, nothing like you got a Corvette. You want the Corvette or you want the Lambo? What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, you want the Lambo, but the one thing I respect about Jake Haener is he understands the hype that is surrounding Spencer Rattler. Yeah. I mean, we all know the story of Spencer Rattler. We've seen him play in college. We know the arm strength, the talent. But Jake Haener was like, oh, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but watch what I do. That's why, to me, Jake Haener can still play on my squad. I don't know if he can be a starter, but he's a gamer, and he rises to the occasion. I mean, I like Spencer Rattler. I've been a Spencer Rattler supporter. I'm out here in South Carolina right now, so I'm very familiar with what he's doing. What he has done in South Carolina. I know that offensive line failed him at South Carolina, which is the reason why a lot of people weren't really talking about it. Yeah. But I think both guys have something to bring to the table. I don't feel like any one of these guys kind of separated themselves, because for every good thing Spencer did, you can say Jake did something just as good. So, but the pulse of the Who Dat Nation, man, it ain't what it once was, man. And
it's not.
It's that aura. Man. It's that aura, man. When he drove them down the field, man, and it was flashing to the sidelines, man, people bought it. And they're not saying that he's a day one starter right now, but they understand like this dude could possibly be what the Saints need. Finally having that successor to Drew Brees, because right now a lot of people don't feel like Derek Carr is the guy. What are your thoughts on that situation?
Well, this is the thing. Like, I think he's in a great place because he can sit for a year or two, right?
Right.
Develop, learn his playbook, learn his new system, just like Jordan Love did at Green Bay.
Good point.
And then when his opportunity comes, I think he'll be well poised, well respected in the locker room, and have that confidence with him, opposed to somebody just getting thrown to the water right then and there. Just like, I hate to bring up Jameis, that's my dog, but just to get like Jameis was at Tampa Bay.
Right.
So I think these training camps, these preseason games, and the regular season are going to be very, very good for him and his career, for him to get to learn and to prepare for. You never know. Next year, or the year after next, if it's his time, it's his time. But I know the morale of this team is down, but what can kill that? TJ is winning, man.
Yeah.
Eric Carr's got to get on the same page with his receivers. His O-line got to step up. And, man, look, if our defense, man, them boys some dogs out there, T.
Yeah.
I see it. I saw it firsthand, man. Them boys, man, if DeMario stay healthy, if Willie Gay can stop the outside runs of these quarterbacks, these mobile quarterbacks, and if Chase Young can help solidify that as well, man. As far as like us being a stop that, our defense could keep us in these games, man. I don't know why they sleeping on that defense, bro.
Yeah,
especially if you would have got what's the homie name that free
Justin Simmons.
Man, you looking at top 3 defense, man, and the offense just got to compliment them, man. Just be middle of the pack. Right. We're not asking y'all to Deric Carr. They don't have to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. Just keep us in the game. Because last year, man, I know that defense was mad.
Yeah,
the offense wasn't clicking. They couldn't never get on that same page. And I think 85% of that was Pete Carmichael. You know what I mean? Not just calling plays off of Madden, but I think now with real talk, T. But now I think with a real offensive coordinator with his own swag and his own confidence who come from the McVay and Shanahan tree, I think our offense can do well, man. But you can't just put too much pressure on Deric Carr. You got to have a running game too. That's why we got to solidify this O-line, bro.
Yeah, it's so crazy though. How things change. You remember like when the offense was just flying high and the defense couldn't stop anybody. But now the defense, it's just completely flipped the script. Yeah. But I definitely agree with what you're saying. You don't have to be a top 10 offense. I mean, you can be middle of the pack with this defense, still find your way in the playoffs, and who knows what can happen there. As far as Spencer Rattler, I like what I saw. I like what I saw out of Jake Haener. That should be interesting. I think this second game versus San Francisco can be a deciding factor because you're going up against a really good football team right there, and they're going to throw certain things at you that you're not prepared for. As far as this team overall, I mean, I think they have potential. Like, even if they didn't get Justin Simmons, like right now, I think he's visiting with the Falcons. Let's just say, for example, if the Falcons were to get him, I still feel very confident about this team being able to be successful and being able to win this division. My final question for you is, in 2024, how do you see the New Orleans Saints? Do you see them as a playoff team? Do you see them as a team that's on the outside looking in? Like, based on what you've seen so far, going to practice, some of the moves they made in the offseason, what say you about the 2024 season for the Black and Gold?
Deric Carr was hurt last year for a few games. We were 2-0 before the Packers game, and he got hurt. We would have won that game if he didn't. Right. We had Pete Carmichael last year. Alvin Kamara was suspended for a few games. We had new guys on defense in the interior, right? We had a rookie, Brian Breesy was a rookie. Things weren't really clicking.
Right.
This year, we got a new offensive coordinator who comes from one of the most well-polished, well-winning systems in the NFL. Deric Carr is entering his third year with the team, second year with the team. So he has more respect and more camaraderie with his teammates. Pete Carmichael's gone.
Right.
I know we had some questions with the offensive line. Our defense is a lot. I wish I could see it, man, at practice. Our defense is, man, them boys some dogs out there, man. And we won 9 games last year. You telling me we're not going to be better this year? With pretty much the same schedule as far as, the hardness of the schedule. I think we ranked number 2 right now. Right. We were number 1 or 2 last year. Right. I think we are easily a 10 or 11 win team, man. We make the playoffs. Right. I stand behind that.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people understand the potential of this team. It's just concerning about, I guess coaching quarterback. That's been the issue. Like everybody I talk to, when I open up the phone lines on the state of the Saints, everybody have their concerns about coaching quarterback. I do feel like they have the potential on paper. Like they can be a double-digit win team. But it's about execution. It's about kind of winning that battle of attrition. You got to stay healthy. And also this offensive line. I feel like this offensive line is the deciding factor for a lot of games coming in 2024. Yeah. But Deric, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you for being here on the State of Saints podcast. Always a pleasure to chop it up with you.
Man.
Yeah, let everybody know how they can get in touch with you, man, outside of like watching you on TV.
Just take my number down, 504 number. Now find me on Instagram at Deric Augustine, on Twitter at Deric Augustine, and yeah, man. Look, I'm blessed and honored to be here, T. Thank you for reaching out, man. Anytime I have extra time, I'll show up. Show some love.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And look, I'm gonna give you a flower while you're here. And I'm gonna give you a flower while you're away. Like what you're doing, the look that you are putting on the city, man. I mean, it's amazing. Like the hard work and the dedication, like that you're putting in the world of acting. Like I'm telling you, man, I joke around with you, but it's a matter of time, man, before we see you walking across that Oscar stage, man, getting that big award.
Sure.
Yeah, man, and you're doing it the right way. You're taking these steps, man. And I'm as a fellow New Orleanian, I'm extremely proud of watching, just the evolving of Deric Augustine as an actor, as a true thespian out there in them streets. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, the right way may be the longer journey, but in the end, the right way will get you so further than doing things against your morals and values, man. And another thing I want to mention, man, with God on your side, you can do anything and everything you want to do in this life, man. Just keep him first, and really the key to success is discipline and consistency, man. Yeah. Once you master those two things, I'm telling you, success will open the door for you.
Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said after that, brother. Once again, Mr. Deric Augustine, thank you so much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. Talk to you soon, man. Hopefully, midway through the season, we have something positive to talk about.
Sure. After the first game, we'll talk again, man.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right, bro. Peace.